Alright, so Evolution X. Now, this has been a ROM that has been covered multiple times on PhoneOps, and yet again we are at it. This time we are looking at the install process and a quick first look at the Android 13 update of this particular ROM for the Mi 11X, also known as the Poco F3. Now, it's going to be a relatively short video, but I plan on using it for a day and reviewing it for you guys. So I will actually use it for calls, connectivity, gaming and all those things. And maybe tomorrow or day after I'll come back with a review on this particular device for this particular ROM. So before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, now as you can see, we do have the change log ready over here. So this is a 1.9 GB update. The version here is 7.3 official. And of course, this is based on Android 13. It's a little old, this update, released on the 29th of November 2022. And the installation method mentioned over here is pretty long. So we're not going to follow that. We're just going to use the TWRP method and I think it should work just fine. So that will make things easier for you. Now, if we talk about the changelog over here, usually the changelog for AOSP ROMs is, pretty long. So it's not. Anyways, let's ignore that. For now, need to be on the latest regional firmware. That's what we're going to use. We have a Elliott in, so we're going to use the latest Indian firmware. OTA works when using built-in recovery. So TWRP and any other custom recoveries will break the installation. Okay, so leave all of that apart. Now we'll go through the usual drill. You need to make sure your data is backed up. You need to have an unlocked bootloader. You need to have TWRP installed. Make sure you have more than 50% battery. You need the firmware and the ROM file. Based on your region, you need the firmware and the ROM file because it does come with GApps. So you don't need GApps separately. Now, of course, you need to remove your lock screen, face unlock, fingerprint unlock, your Google account, your MI account and reboot the device once. Now, once you've taken care of everything, we are good to go here. So we'll just press and hold volume up in power till the time we can actually reboot into TWRP here. So press and hold volume up in power. The moment you see the Poco or MI logo, you can let these buttons go. Okay, we have the MI logo in place. So let's wait for TWRP to boot up. All right, now as you can see, we've booted up into TWRP. So we'll go to wipe, advanced wipe, Dalvik, data, internal storage, swipe to wipe. Okay. Now go to install, select storage and select wherever the file is. In our case, we've kept it on USB OTG. Now remember to keep it on a pen drive or something because if you're going to keep it on internal storage and you have some encryption issues, you might have problems. And if you are keeping on your internal storage at all, make sure you don't wipe internal storage before flashing. Okay. Now at this point, we have this firmware here. Okay, uncheck this automatically reflash TWRP option, add more zips and select the ROM file. So we have Evolution Elliott and select automatically reflash TWRP after flashing a ROM. So swipe to confirm flash. Now at this point when I'm flashing this ROM, I am not encrypted, which means when I booted into TWRP, it did not ask me for my lock screen password. And in that case, if you ignore formatting data, that's completely fine. But in other scenarios, I would recommend you to remove your lock screen and email accounts and everything so that you don't have these encryption decryption issues. Now this is of course a 2 GB file. So it'll take at least 30 seconds to a minute to flash. So all you have to do is please be patient while you're flashing. Alright, now as you can see, the flashing is done. Ignore these small errors. Go to wipe, format data and type in yes. Okay. Now go back to the main screen, go to advanced and select flash current TWRP. This will make sure that the TWRP is still present. Okay, it's backing up and reinstalling it. So it's just a 10-second job. Let it do its thing. Okay, now once that is done, we'll actually go to the main screen, reboot and select recovery. First, we need to make sure that it is booting into TWRP fine. And then we can try booting into the ROM. Alright, now as you can see, we booted into TWRP. So let's go to reboot and select system and let's see if it boots fine. Because remember, the method that is suggested to be used to flash this particular ROM is the side load method. And we used the TWRP method, which makes things easy. But at times, some ROMs might decide not to boot. And as you can see, we have the Evolution X boot logo, which means we followed the steps correctly. Now what we're going to do here is we're quickly going to wait for it to boot. I'll skip through the setup part and we'll have a quick look at what exactly this ROM looks like. I for one, like Evolution X, it has a good mix of customization and performance, but till now I've not settled on any Android 13 ROM. So I'm really looking forward to doing this with the Evolution X, and let's see how that goes. Alright, so just like that, we are on the home screen and let's actually go to settings. I love the smoothness of AOSP ROMs, to be very honest. If you go to About Phone, you go to Android version and you keep tapping on Android version, you will see that you have Android 13 available over here, and at 1 o'clock you will have this beautiful Easter egg, right? Looks great, works great. Now other information is the kernel here is Immensity, so the performance should be good, and you will have Evolution settings here as well, the Evolver. So almost all the customization options are available, and let's actually see what refresh rate this is working at in the first look. So let's see here, we have refresh rate 60. I was thinking that because it didn't seem that smooth, and now as you can see it is flying to the left. Of course you have Google Feed. The camera situation here is, yeah, it's a very basic camera application over here. You don't have MIUI camera or Gcam. I would suggest you can install Gcam here with a good XML. So all in all, Evolution X for the Mi 11X is bloat free, runs really smooth on Android 13. I'll use it for a day or two and I'll definitely come back with a brilliant review for you guys. For now, please subscribe and share this video with your friends, and the same video will be available in Hindi on PhoneOps Hindi. I'll see you in the next one. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.